everyone. Great to have you with us. It's the MSG 150 at Home presented by Chase. Bill Pito along with Alan Hahn, John Wallace, and Monica McNutt. Great to see everyone. And the man of many hats, our man John Wallace, with a new look, as always. What do you got this time around for us? The J-Dub been retired or what?
No, it's never retired. You just got to switch it up. You know, you gotta have variety, Bill. It's all about variety, baby.
There you go. As always, we want to thank those who are keeping us safe and healthy during these difficult times. And we start with the world of baseball, our daily update. Alan, it just seems to me, Rob Manfred during the draft last night made it clear that if he has to, he's going to mandate, which he has a right to, a 48 to 50 game season for full prorated pay. And I'm just saying, I think all of us would agree that it's going to be bad optics if the commissioner, even though he has a right to, is going to shove a format down the players' throats.
Well, that's the poison pill, I think. And, you know, this is going to go hour by hour now over the next couple of days, and we'll see when they can come up with an agreement. There is still another counter proposal now to be made to this one that could happen at any moment. And one thing that Manfred did say, though, is that they are committed to playing this season. He guaranteed they will play this season, because that was the other discussion, is there's some small market owners that might prefer not to play, you know, and you don't want that. You do not want to have a year where you do not play your sport. So it's a matter of now, how many games do they come up with and what will the players accept? He made it pretty clear they got to get off the 100% prorated now. They've got to give back even a little more. But he also said that they want to play as many games as possible. Keep in mind as well, they don't want to play deep into November. So that's going to also compromise how many games they can play at this point, because we're already into almost the middle of June. And for them to restart in July at some point, they're not going to have a lot of time to do that and play an expanded playoffs and not play into the cold winter months.
I'm still shocked that baseball hasn't figured this out, because they have the easy sport to play in terms of the contact and all that to get around the pandemic a little bit. And also they're giving up their stage to the Korean baseball. I mean, this just makes no sense that Major League Baseball can't figure it out. Hopefully they can. I know it's about money, Alan, but at the same time, they got $1 billion coming in from Nike this year. So they got to divvy that up. And last time they had a strike in 94, 95, their fans were down by 20%. So they got to always keep that in mind. And especially during today's times, NHL has figured out a way to play. NBA's figured out a way to play. Soccer's figured out a way to play. Baseball has to figure out a way to play, or they're going to be forever the bottom of the totem pole in terms of pro sports in America.
Two things on that, John. While I'm not a baseball historian, I'm sort of not surprised that they struggled this much. I mean, we always have this conversation about making baseball fun, which indicates there are some stuffy folks at the top making decisions and they're struggling to negotiate. The biggest thing for me in this whole thing is, this is like when you're at the store and you're cutting up and your mom is like, oh, wait till you get home because you're showing off in public. Like, this thing in public is such a bad look. And honestly, whichever side caves first, to me, they'll look like the side that's on the team of the fans. Now, I don't know who that's going to be. But the second part of that, I don't know, John. We're starting to see now that other athletes in other leagues are not 100% sold on moving forward and acting as if they are essential workers in this pandemic, which is something that we've never seen before. Now, I get it. There's lots of sacrifices to be made all across the board. But I've been saying for a while, we're dealing with a different type of athlete, one who is totally in tune with the idea of total wellness, which includes your mental peace when you go step out on the court, field, or diamond to play.
To your point, Monica, ESPN reporting that there are a handful of NBA players that are very hesitant and somewhat concerned about how things are going to work out in the bubble in Orlando. You've been talking about this the whole time, and now it seems like it's coming to the surface.
Yeah.
So quit showing off in public.
Okay, hold on, one more. I have this lovely Swami hat for when I'm right on stuff.
Now you're really showing off.
Monica with the props. Are you kidding me?
Madam Monica, going to predict the future.
But
Who's
no,
going to win the NBA championship, Madam Monica?
Hold on, I got it.
Watch your magic rug now. Get the magic rug out too.
It depends on if a guy like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George decide, our bank account is okay and we got small children at home, we're opting out of the bubble. I don't know how deep this goes, but I'm not surprised to hear reports of guys not sure that they're sold. I talked to Tierra Ruffin-Pratt, who plays for the Los Angeles Sparks. The WNBA is trying to do a similar thing. There's a lot more to deal with. But she said herself, wellness is important. And I keep saying, if these guys have small children, like, you can't play with it. Or if you've got people in your home with pre-existing conditions, or you yourself have a pre-existing condition. So I'm not surprised. I do think they'll work it out, but I'm not surprised we're having these conversations.
Well, I'll name drop. I talked to Danny Green of the Lakers, all right? And he told me that the teams that know they have a shot at the championship, the sacrifices are worth it to them, that they understand that the lockdown includes you probably can't go out, go off the Disney campus, so to speak, and hang out and do things that young guys like to do when they got a lot of money in their pocket. You can't do it right now. You got to focus and make it about the playoffs. And again, teams that know they got a shot at a championship, when you got LeBron on your team, you know you have a shot at a championship. They're willing to do that. The question is some of those teams that are on the periphery that might have been included in this, but no, they don't really have a chance to win a title. Is it worth it to them to go through all the jump through all these hoops to deal with some of the things that they're going to have to deal with, the restrictions and everything? Is it worth it to them? And some of them are expressing a thought of no. And that might include then the teams can say, okay, you could stay home, but now we got to fill this roster spot. Then you have some players who weren't signed, J.R. Smith, Jamal Crawford, some others who might suddenly end up on a playoff roster and playing. So it's all something to watch here. But those teams that are at the very top, they're willing to do this because usually when it comes to playoff time, and John, you know this, you lock it down anyway and you focus on one thing, and it's just basketball.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on what you were saying, Alan, you hit it right on the head. The teams at the top, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Bucks, the Raptors, those players are playing. They're committed because they have a real legitimate shot at winning the title, and you're willing to sacrifice anything to win that title. They've just had off for about 4 months or so you can't, worry about, things you have to do because you've had so much time off. So now it's time to get back to work. They're all dying to get back to playing. We're dying to watch them play. I think it's a really easy fix. And the Spurs and the Kings, the teams, like you said, on the outside looking in, maybe some of those players don't want to take that sacrifice because they know they have no shot at winning in the playoffs or even making the playoffs. So I understand them not wanting to go. They want to they want to take their extended summer and take it, for a couple more months. They're not ready to come back to play possibly. I'm not sure, but I know if I was in that position, I'd be dying to play because you've been sitting out for so long, and any chance you get to play and get some real competition, you take that opportunity.
Important to clarify, John and Monica and Alan, that players don't have to play. If they don't play, they don't get paid, but they don't have to play if they're not comfortable.
Right.
I mean, if guys are smart with their money and can afford to do that, then cool. Like, I think you have to respect that decision. But I will say, if we're going to play, you guys are right, teams with a real chance. We went from this conversation of, will this title have an asterisk by it? Yes, it will. So again, if we're going to do this, try to make as many people happy as possible, shake up the whole model. I'm with all the changes.
Monica, there will be no asterisk, just like it was no asterisk by the 99 Spurs title.
No, I agree.
You win a title, there's no asterisk.
A title is a title, but that at one point was a conversation. So this conversation continues to evolve. I mean, I'm with you. Let's play, but I think you got to respect guys that don't want to.
Last word on this topic is Monica has been right all along about this, that this was going to be an issue. She's been saying it, and you got to give her credit. You've been 100% right about it. It is an issue. Now, can you predict who's going to win the Stanley Cup?
Out of my wheelhouse.
Monica, you got to predict also the MLS, because the MLS is going to have a huge stage because you're coming back to play in Orlando July 8th, 54-game tournament, all 26 teams, including the Red Bulls, group stage, and then on from there. And the group stage is going to count toward the regular season. And Alan, they hope to have the regular season able to restart in the fall. So you got all these games, multiple games a day, starting July 8th, going to be a big stage for MLS.
Yeah, it's exciting for that sport, especially the MLS in this country. I mean, soccer is huge in this country, but most of the viewership is going to Premier League and whatnot overseas, not as much MLS. But you're going to have everyone's eyes for a couple of weeks at the very least to see how it can go. And how about the format, by the way? How about 9 a.m. games? I mean, that's kind of cool. And then you play, playing the later games as well, 8 and 10 o'clock. And is everybody going to Disney, by the way, guys? Like, has that become the thing? Like, how big is Disney that they can have MLS and NBA and all those teams in that same bubble? That's a pretty big bubble.
John, how are you during games that started at 9 a.m.? How was that for you?
Well, I'm always ready, Bill, no matter what time. But in terms of the MLS, obviously we're happy they're getting back, and they're setting up the template for everyone else to kind of change things in terms of what works, what doesn't work. They're the first pro sports team back. You're going to have the full attention. And this is what the MLS envisioned when they signed David Beckham years ago. They thought they're going to bring all this attention to the U.S. It never really happened, but now it's starting. They have a chance. They have the whole world watching. If they do it the right way, they can get some new fan viewership.
This is an incredible marketing opportunity for MLS. Not just that they'll be on linear television with these games, but let's get creative on Twitter, Instagram, second screen experiences. For someone like me who is not particularly familiar with some of the stars, let's have some fun. This is an opportunity to put names to faces in terms of players that we kind of hear about. We know they're soccer players, but maybe don't necessarily identify with. I would love to see the marketing of this go overboard in terms of allowing us all to really get engaged.
Red Bulls, by the way, guys, before play was suspended, played 2 games. They won 1 and tied 1. Sunday, June 14th, the 26th anniversary of the Rangers winning the Cup back in '94. We'll go down memory lane with former Ranger Stefan Matteau. We come back here on the MSG 150 at home, presented by Chase.